Okay, so I've been asked to do a cut. You want to angle from the chin down. I'm going to do quickest way to do it. Pull the hair up on top. She wants that much cut off. Jeez. So this cut is called the gypsy shave. So I don't know if she wants something longer, shorter. then I have to do one. But this is later. Nice quick layer. Where it frames the face. Oh. Knock her head off.
Between the two, that's for sure. I know. That's 100% for sure. No, we got a lot of yeah.
I'm coming. Listen, yeah, I'm coming.
Okay.
Do you want it shorter than that?
What have you done so far? Did you cut the
I just
length
pulled
off?
it up. I pulled it up into a ponytail and angled it, snipped it down, and then layered it.
Oh, okay. So
So
go,
this is just to,
see what you got going on here.
so you want it a little shorter?
Yeah, cut a couple inches off his length because that length
Okay.
is so scratchy. Because I want to be able to see the lines,
Okay.
and I won't be able to that way because it doesn't take anything off the bottom.
So you want blunt across in the back?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
It can be blunt going all the way, the whole perimeter, a couple inches off the limb.
So you guys get a lot of cuts here?
Yeah, we do a lot of that. We do a lot of cuts, a lot of styling.
Okay.
We have a decent amount of color, but I would say cuts and styling probably more so than chemicals. But we are building on our chemicals. So we have like a lot of incentives, like as an organization where we're trying to focus our like promoting into chemicals, suggesting, even if it's, you know, not necessarily relaxers or texturizers or cold waves, even color, even, you know, accent color, just because that's where a lot of the money is. And in between all those haircuts, you can still make a really good living if you have those higher tickets involved.
Mm-hmm.
But we still do get a lot of cuts because a lot of people come for cuts in general.
Okay.
Do me a favor. Angle your angle. You're at a good, I think, length here. But bring her angle a little bit shorter.
Okay.
Like bottom of her chin, and then angle her to that length.
Okay.
For me. Just so I can kind of see. Can we move his chair? It's not in your way?
I'm good. You said go to the chin.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Cause she want to see a little of that pop. That's what she told me.
Okay.
Yeah. And then angle that into her. Now you see where I'm looking at too, yeah? The only reason I asked for this because it's something I feel like the majority of people want. You know, everybody wants this much off the length, and they want to angle on face framing, and they want
Okay.
layers.
It's the most popular cut.
I feel like it's pretty like standard now. And anything else that anybody, like a lot of people need outside of that is just tweaking it for that individual. Maybe they need a little bit more volume in the top, so we add a little bit more layering or something. But I think it's pretty standard.
Okay.
I'm curious to see you do this side because you're right-handed. And you do it just like a right-handed person would.
Piece right there.
Don't cut yourself.
I know, right?
Then I'll feel bad. That's alright. That's alright. Can I look at something? I want to see what you're seeing.
It's a little heavy right in the back.
So, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. And then she's got a nice amount of layering in here. But I can see a weight in here.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like a disconnection, right?
Mhm.
So if I was this guest and I said, okay, I see my layers, I can see they're here, I see my length, but it kind of just looks funny. How would you, like, because it looks heavy in here, right?
Mhm.
It's in this area. How would you layer in there?
Go back.
finding your shortest point. Shortest point. All right. So yeah, now you. Just so you don't create another short point.
I think that's what I do.
Yeah. I think you're seeing what I was seeing. So that's always a good thing. All right. And then remember, if you oh, I'm on video, aren't I?
Oh yeah, I'm taping myself so I can go in home and study.
Look at yourself.
Okay.
I've been in your picture the whole time too. I didn't even know it. All right, cool. So one thing I will say is that, but that's a beautiful thing. Don't put me on Facebook or nothing. You're like, this crazy girl. So you did exactly what I was looking for, right? Just remember that anytime you're like over directing, if you see weight down here, you're dropping that weight back down, right? So if you're trying to get rid of some of that weight, although it's good to over direct because it's safe, right? You still want to look at, if you still have weight there, without over directing, you see my point there, and my point maybe here. This is actually where some of that weight is too.
Right.
So if I said it's still heavy in there, but I've seen you did blend it up better. So you did exactly what I was thinking. But if you were to let that length drop, you still have hair from this point to this. That's that weight. You see where it's falling? Just so you see that part.
Okay.
But you definitely seeing exactly what I was hoping you'd see. So that's a great thing. So I can show you here too. So if I take this section right here. Just keeping it where it lays. You see where my length is, right? Technically there's still some weight here in the middle. It's not the length, but in the middle. If I was to walk it all the way up, well, I could walk it from the bottom all the way to the top. So I could cut, right? And I can cut, and I can cut all the way to that guide.
Okay.
And we all do things different. I'm not saying you have to do it this way, but you're definitely seeing what I was seeing. So that's, even here on the sides, if I was to look at the sides, right? We know it's not going to cut this part because this is already shorter, you know, because it's angled, right?
Right.
But if I was to take this section, and I was to look at our length right here, and follow it up, I'm going to need that point. So she could even get more layering in here if she felt like this was too heavy.
Okay.
But it's pretty good. You see my length here? I could walk that up until I met that point. Just little bits, but you're good. Cool. All right, so you're gonna dry her. Let me see what you said you do round brush, some basic.
I've done it a long time.
So just get some of the wetness out first, make your job easy.
Okay.
You know, get like a lot of that water out first, that's what we would do anyways.
Okay.
And then finish it how you would finish it. And then if you're really not comfortable with the round brush, I'll just ask you to just round brush the front.
Okay.
So whatever technique you use, go ahead and do it, but we're looking for a more finished look.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
But get some of that water out of there. Don't make your job difficult.
Okay.
Let's put your camera back on here. Look, now that I was on it anyways, it didn't even matter. I guess it could take me now. No, it's a good thing though. You're gonna use it to study.
Mhm.
That's amazing. That is really cool. So you're not like, hey, I'm seasoned. I got you. We all got something to learn still.
Oh
Right?
yeah, definitely.
That's a beautiful
Learn every
thing.
day.
That's a beautiful thing. I tell everyone it's not a testimony of your experience or your expertise. It's just we all have different things
Yeah.
to bring to the table and to offer each other and to learn. So
Can learn off of
Yeah.
everybody.
yeah, for sure. Yeah. She's the assistant manager.
Okay.
Like y'all are too busy to answer the phone. How about that? How have you been? Very good. Yeah, very good. Hoping I can get some time to enjoy the summer a little bit. Some time, so I haven't been used yet. So I'll see what they do when I'm done. But I definitely, yeah, I definitely have a lot of time to use this summer and my daughter is from Michigan. She wants
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You the round work for so long. You my left hand. Oh, Lord.
All you gotta do is position yourself, and this is turn. All you gotta do is turn.
Okay.
you know, let them have some say. But you got to. And I find that, you know, something sitting and like, people like, oh, I don't want anything like this. You know, because, you know, you're like, oh, I feel like this. You look and I'm like, yeah, I don't think we have to do that. I'm doing this right now. You don't know what I do.
Really wish I had a bigger comb. Okay, that's my round brush. That's my round brush.
Well, I saw you got a little something going on. You're not completely falling to the round brush. Yeah, you just need a bigger one for if they have long hair.
Okay, so you use a bigger one.
Well, if they want a tighter curl, you can use
Okay. I got the smaller one,
one.
this one.
Yeah, but a bigger one, like if they have longer hair, because then it doesn't get caught up in that.
Okay.
Because that happens sometimes if the barrel is too small.
Uh-huh.
And then also it may take forever to dry if they have thick hair, long hair. But if you get a bigger one, you can do the same thing. So
Okay.
you definitely pretty cool. And we've got some really, really amazing round brushers in here.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you just peek at them and you see a couple things, you'll be like, let me try that. Because
Okay.
I can tell that you're going to learn if you have the exposure. I can tell.
Okay.
I can tell. As long as you have the will, I know that the skill is no problem. As long as you're willing.
Yes.
Cool. Cool. Cool.
All right, so in this case, it's not enough curl there. Then to take the flat iron and just bump it or a roller.
Yeah. Say I said, oh, can you put a little bit more bend here or there, and you couldn't do it with the round brush. Then maybe you would want to, bend it a little bit more under, or do something like that if you couldn't do it with the round brush.
Okay.
If it's a skill issue, I would say if you want to put a couple bumps just to. Because we know we're weak at a certain skill level, don't charge them for the iron finish, because you know what I'm saying. But if you know that based on your texture the look you're looking for,
Okay.
I'm gonna need additional help because you know that has nothing to do with maybe the volume I give you here, right? Because I still give you some volume. Maybe he only gives me more, but that's my skill that's allowing me to give you more than what our basics can do. Then maybe if you said, yeah, I didn't do that, and maybe you would want to put a couple of curls right there to give it a little more volume, and maybe at that point you would charge them. It's just a matter of you telling them that, being transparent with your pricing. But a skill, I would say no. Don't. If you have to add a stick to it that's not smooth enough or straight enough, and it should be because you know you're weak, don't charge them.
Okay.
But don't do like every little bits and piece because that's a whole nother ballgame. But like, you know, but that's something that we'll go through like through our guest journey, our new hire packets. Just on client satisfaction, stuff like that.
Okay.
With the all around intention of not ever putting yourself in a situation where you're going to do too much for free, but also knowing where being realistic and being like, hey, this is a little bit more me than. And then sometimes the girls even say, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and do this with this. I'm not gonna charge you for it. Typically, we could charge you for it, but I'm just doing it because I want to make you happy or give you a little bit more bang. Transparent.
Yeah.
Just so if somebody else charges them, they don't get mad.
Okay.
If you're not sure if it's you or not.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Cool. No, you did great, though. You did great. Cool. Or some people have really straight, silky hair, and it's even harder to do the round brush because it doesn't grip the same way like this hair will grip.
Yeah.
And if you know that it's your weakness and the hair is difficult, then you may want to say, hey, I'll go ahead and add this and not charge them for it to make them
At that
happy.
point, you suggested a permanent wave.
Right.
What do you guys do? You still call it permanent wave?
Yeah, perm, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And then some clients get it confused because they think a perm is a relaxer, but we as professionals know that a permanent wave is different than a relaxer. So sometimes when guests come in, they say, I want a perm. It's not uncommon to say, do you want your hair curly or straight?
Right.
Because let me not assume, because maybe that textured client wants actually a carefree curl, or just, we do not wave new carefree curl. We do wave by design. Design Essentials version of the cold wave. Okay. So, but they're like, oh, well, because the hair is textured, I assume they wanted a relaxer, and they said perm. And now that person can never get
grow it all the way out.
Yeah, because you can't, combine those two. So it's always important. That's part of consultation. And just, knowing what their starting and end result is, so that we're setting ourselves up for success. Okay. All right, cool. You have clippers.
Yes.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. You're gonna ask a question.
What permanent waves do you use here?
We use Biolage acid.
Okay.
We use Matrix Extra Body, Matrix Optithermic by Matrix, and then we also use Matrix Variable Action.
Okay. Well, I know Biolage, and
they're all pretty much the same. Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's only one that can go under with a hood.
Okay.
I can't remember if it's maybe it's the variable action one. But all the extra body is they have instructions for color treated, resistant hair. All of them specify.
Okay.
So when you go through all of that, you get to learn them. You'll know which one's better suited for which guest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You learn that quick.
Okay.
And as many perms that I've done in my life, I still have to go and look at the manufacturing every single time, because some of them vary by a few minutes or a process, and I have to review it really with myself before I do anything. Okay. Yeah, but don't worry about that. And then there's also each other, right? Like, hey, is there one? Can you let me borrow your eyeballs? Look at that guest's hair. What perm do you think is good for her? Like, she doesn't have color, or she does have color. Her hair is compromised, and maybe I say based on my experience, I would use the Biolage, because that's for extra sensitive, compromised hair. But it also has 3 steps. To where if it's somebody who has resistant coarse gray hair, I may say, hey, use the blue one or the pink one because her hair looks resistant. You know what I mean? So we network, we work with each other. We're definitely a support to each other. Okay. It's not that competitive kind of a situation. We really want to we encourage each other to give their 2 cents, even if I don't go with your 2 cents. Sometimes I want to know because we have different experiences. experiences.
Right.
So it's always good to borrow someone's eye, and we sometimes even present it in front of the client so the client doesn't think it's a technical issue. They'll say, "Hey, Kiyomi, can I borrow your eyes? What's your opinion?" And so the guests know that, because we're transparent about it, like we give each other's opinions just based on our experiences, so it's not, anything that you need to worry about.
Yeah.
But just to build an environment that's just setting up for success more so than not. All right, cool.
Okay, clippers.
Clippers. So you are going to do a clipper cut.
Okay.
What guards do you have? You have all your guards, or I'm trying to figure out what number I want you to use. You probably have a 2 in there, 2 or 3. If you have a 3, because you don't have too much experience with clippers, is that correct?
Correct. Other than, doing like a, what do you call the things? Not even a taper, like to shave the
undercut?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shave the side.
So the undercut is different. What we're gonna do today is actual clipper cut, and like I said, if you just do the best that you can do with what you know.
Okay.
And then we can always go over it a little bit too,
Okay.
So you're gonna do, if you have a 2 or a 3, you're gonna do a 2 or 3 on the sides and back,
Okay.
and then you're gonna scissor cut the top. So she can be a man, she can be a woman, I could care less, but what I'm looking for is that clippers and that blending to what's on top.
Okay.
So I don't want to undercut.
Okay.
So in the end, you're gonna have to take some scissors to the top anyways, just to be able to blend it.
This is a 3.
3? All right, cool. Let's start with a 3.
Okay.
So whether they're wearing it combed back and then it's blended the top shorter with the clippers, or whether you want to push it forward or wear a side part, most importantly, however you plan on doing it, I'm looking for the clippers and how well you're able to blend that transition that blend into the top. So you're definitely, with your shears, gonna cut the top.
Okay.
And try to blend that. So don't be like, oh, I don't want to cut her hair. You're gonna cut this because you're gonna have to blend it.
Okay.
So if you want to pin any of this out of the way so you don't cut off what you're not supposed to, so you don't go too high up, then feel free to do so. If after you do that, you want to wet the top, you can always do that too.
Okay.
Do whatever you know.
Okay, so are we doing it all the way around or
Correct.
just
Sides and back.
Sides and back. Okay.
Correct. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay.
And if you get stuck somewhere and I'm not paying attention, you're like, hey, Kiyomi, what would you do? Just let me know.
Okay.
Because then I can at least kind of show you what I would do and then see if you're able to kind of grasp what I'm saying.
Okay.
And maybe you don't even need that much. I just don't know where you are with clippers, so.
Okay.
You might not
Okay.
even need me. There's my dad. Remember I told you the story? All our pictures, he's covering his face. My sister, my brother, me. We have a couple of pictures where he's always covering his face. Wow. Yeah, that's my grandfather and my dad. That's my dad and my grandpa.
And grandfather's a handsome man, right?
My dad.
I said I could date him.
There's my dad.
And he's handsome too, and your mom in the background.
Yeah, my mom, my dad, my sister, me, and my brother. Yeah. And he was not happy about it because he couldn't cover his face because it was a family picture. So he was not happy about it. Oh, no. At least you got that. You're a brother.
He goes to.
He was robbing my son was robbing.
Okay, there you go.
So now we're in the stage where it's like, Dad, you have a lot of pictures.
Yes.
And he's like, all right, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it good.
Oh, there you go. Makes sense.
Oh, there's my mom and dad when they were young. This was before we were born. This was when they were in the military. I think we were at a dinner or something. I think they were in the army. Yeah. Oh, there's my dad. Didn't he turn so Asian? Yes. As he got older, he turned more and more Asian. His t-shirt is in there. And that's my dad and my grandma. My dad and my grandmother. Yeah. My dad and my grandma. Yeah. And then that's my dad again and my grandma. Yeah, and I got a lot of them too. I even got my dad when he graduated high school, going into the military. Like his first military picture with him. She like a baby, like a born chicken. Yeah, my dad, my grandfather. Yeah. Yeah, we got all of that. Yeah. I got pictures of my father, a senior in high school, when he got drafted to the Philadelphia Phillies. And my dad was drafted to be a professional baseball player.
My father was in the military too, and I have a picture of him. I do have one picture of him in his uniform. Yeah, one picture of him. Same with me. Very young. But you got the picture.
Yeah, I have a dad, and I even have my dad when he was supposed to be, before he went to the military, he was supposed to play professional baseball.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I even had an article of him from the local paper when he got drafted. Yeah. But he gave up that good, that professional life to become a nurse in the army.
Yeah, yeah, girl.
Thank God he did that, or we wouldn't be here. He would have never met mom other than in the military.
There you go. There you go.
Don't forget that terrified. Don't forget that penalty.
Oh, yes.
Because she got the picture.
Yeah.
Like, I'll bring my head up and put the eye on.
What you see? I'll show him. That's my grandpa and my dad. My grandpa, my dad. My dad's covering his face there. There's my dad and my mom. There's my dad and my grandmother.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said my grandpa. He was a soldier. He said,
Japanese?
Yeah. My
Oh,
grandmother's Japanese.
Okay.
Yeah, my grandfather was a soldier in the U.S. military. He was technically he was mixed, but that's not what they considered at the time. So he's my grandfather's black.
Okay.
Or was, and he's deceased now.
Okay.
But his mother was biracial.
Okay.
So he.
What Japanese thing?
No, white and black.
Oh, white and black.
Yeah,
okay.
my grandfather.
Okay.
So my dad, black, white, Japanese, or I'm sorry, black, technically white, like what, 16th or something like that, but he's black and Japanese. My dad's
Okay.
black and Japanese.
Okay.
Those two just simply other accents.
Wow.
Yeah, we've got quite a cool
Mixture going
situation.
on.
Yeah. Nothing
I like that
says,
situation.
yeah, nothing says, United Nations like my family. I used to tell everyone when I was younger that I was, they'd be like, oh, you're biracial. I said, no, I'm triracial.
Triracial.
And they're like, what? I was like, I'm white, black, and Japanese. And they're like, oh, wow, triracial. I said, yeah.
Wow.
I think that was back in the day when it wasn't probably, it's not now, it's like normal, everything's normal. Back in the day, depending on where you live,
Yeah.
it wasn't necessarily as common.
So this is so cool. I'm not used to doing clippers, but we're practicing on the dog.
Okay, cool. You're figuring out your way. Remember, it's not a have to fill thing, it's just kind of seeing where you're at and seeing if what we can support and build those strengths and
Yeah.
what kind of a like continuing plan or what kind of a lesson, like a learning plan that we can put you
I'm
like,
all for going and
Yeah.
taking classes.
yeah, that's what you
and
told
all
me.
that,
That's why I was
yeah.
like, okay, so my approach is going to be a little bit different with you because I know where you are with it all already. You've been very transparent and open and willing. So like,
Heck yeah, the sooner the better.
and you said one of my favorite sayings, which was "money is green." Right?
That's right.
I always said money is green. And you know, as you rebuild, it's really hard if you're limited to like one skill set. So you want to try to get out of that as quickly as possible. If you have the resources, because while you're eventually you could be in a world where you don't have to touch certain things ever again. But in the meantime, you got to be able to sustain in order to make it there, right? So you got to
Exactly.
learn.
Exactly.
And then once we become developed and we have ourselves solid in a good place for our own selves, then we can kind of say, hey. But by then, we usually have perfected everything else on the way, and money is greener.
Exactly.
Cool.
How you doing? Alright guys, so we see that I have used that. Okay. Bring her a little bit closer.
because I remembered yesterday morning, but then I forgot by the time the afternoon came. And so when you text me, I said, that's right. So I knew I could take care of it right away. Yes, I appreciate it. She's this person? Ah. Yeah, sure. Yeah, especially. What do they say? Uncross your legs, everything, you know? Because you're the people that just lean that way. All right, cool. So it wasn't like a complete like disaster situation. It was just, and you were able to rectify it. Though. She was okay, Sheila.
She didn't take it.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I told her that there was like manifestation. She was so happy. And then she cashed out.
Do you have a cash app or?
There you go.
Yeah, so altogether it's gonna be 180.
That would be a good one. I have to run back and tell you. I have to run back and tell you about that one.
Okay, I kind of lost my way right here. Okay. I was trying to do the classic Halle Berry. I was trying to do that, but then I lost my way right here.
You know what I'll tell you to do?
What?
Help you out? Wet the hair. Put some water on it.
Okay.
Make your life a lot easier. Especially now that you got a lot of bulk out. Now you've got a foundation though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Where's your comb at?
Right here.
And the reason why I tell you that is because if you look, right, you're trying to blend it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can see. You see the short is here where you clippered, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know you gotta blend that all the way to whatever you did here. So all that hair that you weren't able to grab, you can see here. So if you got a wetter, or wetter even more, do what you gotta do. But that
Okay.
it'll help you, I think.
Okay.
Because it'll kind of bring the hair together a little bit. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
There's supposed to be a social restaurant over here.
Oh, yes, yes,
Right
yes.
beyond Carter's. I haven't been there.
Yes,
I was
yes.
told about it yesterday.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It is there? Okay, okay.
Right next door to the bubble tea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna go and see, and check it out.
Yeah.
You wanna come?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Okay.
I've already looked at their menu. It's not my jam.
Oh, is it?
I'm a picky eater. It's not, there's delicious sounding things on there. I'm just a picky eater.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're gonna go and check it out.
Yeah.
We're gonna see what they have. I'll be back in the
All right, all right.
Yeah. We're gonna go and check it out.
Don't be scared. She's not gonna yell. She's not gonna curse. I promise. And if she does, I'm leaving. So now when you, so when you're working your way down to blending, right? Think of this as its point, right? If you were to pull this section this way, you'll see to blend it in between what you gotta get. If you go around the whole perimeter of the head,
Okay.
being the top is, let's say, the flat point. You can see where that short point is. So you know all that shelf there is, it's gotta go. Yeah, you'll be good after you. Just take one class just so you can get all your yayas out and see the way somebody else does it, and also shadowing some of the girls.
Mhm.
Just pop on a seat and just watching is all you're good. You'll be fine. So you should be able to get that down pretty quickly.
You can stay here, we'll get into that for a minute.
Because you understand the concept of blending, so
Mhm.
it's just about you doing it and making your mistakes and learning from them, that's all. Some people don't grasp the concept because they've never done it or they don't do it often, they don't understand,
Mhm.
like visually. But you understand looking and stuff, so it'll be an easy one to perfect.
Best looks. Hi, this is Colby Calais. Haircut
And some good scissors.
Thanks for coming.
I'm sorry?
And some good scissors.
Yeah, they probably aren't your kindest friend either.
That's some good scissors.
But those will have to be your installation scissors.
Right. I have to give myself some grace though. I'm just getting back into
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. You gotta work out all the kinks, yeah, get yourself back in the swing of it. Absolutely, I get it. That's realistic. That's true. once your flat points start going in your vertical sections, because you see all this right here, that means that obviously it's not meeting, right? Because this is short and you still have weight in between, so you gotta use that flat point. And of course, if the clipper is longer, then it blends even easier, right? Because the clipper is longer. But also, when the clipper is shorter, it's even more important to blend it because it's even shorter. You see it, you see it. Because the reality is, the clippers is the same as how you layered it, right?
Yeah.
It's just a shorter version of it, or whether or not your fingers can grab that short hair, and sometimes it can't.
Yeah.
And that's when your clipper or your scissor over comb or your clipper over comb will blend it because it's a shorter base, right? A shorter guide at the bottom, so you gotta use something that can get closer to the scalp. Alright. Finish up that last little snip you got in your hand, then I'm gonna show you what I just spoke about. Because I can see where you're at. So it's a wonderful thing.
Okay.
Just so, since we
ready?
since we talked about, where's your clippers at? Oh, here you are. Are these? Oh, they're not cordless, right? Okay, cool. They don't want to break your stuff. So remember I said that, you know, we started our guide, which is shorter, right? And then, but with clippers, we can't always grab it, right? But we can still see that weight line, right? So that's where either scissors over comb. I know it's not staplewood, so either scissors over comb, thank you, to try to blend that out, or you can use this, because remember clippers are, you know, shorter, so you can't grab it. If you were to grab that, you could technically be doing the same exact thing. So because that can actually show you where your short hair is, right? And of course the mannequin head.
Mhm.
But I want you to be able to use this wider side. So for example, your clippers don't cut that nice. So what, and if you notice, I'm doing like a combination, right?
Mhm.
I'm doing some sections that are this way, right? So you don't see too many horizontal lines, but I'm also doing it this way so you don't see too many vertical lines, right? If you look at that, doing a combination of all those things, vertical, horizontal, depends on how the hair grows, all those things.
Mhm.
But do you see how we're starting to work out that line?
Yeah.
That weight line? So if you look here, again, I started blending here, right? I didn't do so much here. So I'm kind of going through at an angle, because you can see where the hair starts. And then maybe I go through horizontally. Does that make a little sense?
Mhm.
Yeah?
Yep.
Alright, so let me see you do a little bit something here. And if your clippers treat you the way they treated me, then you'll see.
Is it still not? Okay, I see it. Just take a little bit more off.
Yeah. And if you're keeping it more in that angle, you're going to start to notice that you still have, you're blending better, but you still see that weight line. And that's where maybe you want to go at an angle this way, because the more angles you start to mix it up with, the more you're going to
left-handed or right? Wait a minute. Okay, let me see.
Oh no, it ain't gonna work
With that way?
that way.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah, like that.
This way.
Yeah, because there you go. Look at there. There you go. So you're working it out in different angles, right? It's just so you're blending, and because that gets closer than what your fingers can get to that clipper, that guard, that number 3. Of course, the way these mannequins are built here on these corners are a little bit different. So don't be too hard on yourself. I just want you to understand the concept of like how you could blend it, your options for blending. Alright, cool.
Is it okay?
Yeah. It's not, these are just some things also that when you're practicing, I want you to keep in mind, because you're gonna, during downtime, you might want to challenge yourself and say, hey, I'm gonna take this down to number 1 now, right? Or number 2, and then I'm gonna blend it with what's here, so you kind of have an idea of different options, because you're gonna be working on that. Alright, cool. But you kind of get my concept a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't all
Is it
that.
blended? Yeah, it blended
weight.
in a lot, like much better.
And you're still going to see some lines because it's a mannequin head, so the hair is implanted. So, All right, cool. All right, let's get you cleaned up. I'm going to move this out of the way. Get yourself cleaned up,
Okay.
packed up, and then I think we're going to have to onboarding was telling me earlier that
Did I leave something out?
ADP is not done at all.
It's,
So-
it's on my phone.
Yeah, that's what they said. You might have registered.